Google just released some new Gemini updates to Chrome that are absolutely going to crush the competition. We're talking about a better chat interface, the ability to chat across tabs, and even an agent that is built natively into Chrome. Let me show you all the important updates. When you're inside of Chrome now and you click on the top right here where it says Gemini, you'll see this new side panel that slides over to give you access to Gemini. Now, Gemini has existed inside of Chrome for a little while now, but in the past, it used to look like this, which was actually really annoying because it kind of got in the way. And if you asked it a question like summarize this page and you switch to a different tab, it would persistently stay on top, which was really annoying. And it was also kind of hard to see. So they fixed that by turning it into this side panel. Now that enables a few other additional features as well, because I just asked it to summarize this tab. But if I go over to a new tab and open up Gemini, there's a fresh chat here. So you can have different chats in different tabs. So the way I've been using this is I would say to it, summarize this page, and then I'll come over to the other tab and say summarize this page, and then come over to another tab and say summarize this page. And then I can go back to the first one, read the summary, decide if this is an article I want to read, and do that for all the other tabs as well, instead of having that floating window that's just kind of getting in the way. The other thing you can now do here is actually chat across multiple tabs. So if I go ahead and start a new chat, I can actually click on this plus icon and select all the tabs that I want to include in this. So all three of those. You can also do that by typing in the @ symbol and then choosing which tabs you want to add. And this time I'll ask it, put together a plan to do a one-armed pull-up based on all the information from these tabs. And now it's pulling information from all three of these tabs, and you know it's using those ones because each one is highlighted blue up here. And it's using all that information to help me come up with a plan to train to do a one-arm pull-up. Now, the new Gemini for Chrome is also supposed to connect with your browsing history. However, I haven't gotten that to work. Maybe there's just a few kinks to work out there. But what has worked really well is its new integration with Gmail, with Calendar, and with YouTube. So for instance, let's say I'm looking at this page and I think it's really interesting. So I can go ahead and say in the chat, send an email to someone asking them what they think of this. You'll notice it is now connecting with Gmail. And here it actually composes the email for you in the chat. So you don't have to switch tabs. You can come in here, see who it's to, make sure that's correct, the subject line, the actual message as well. You could actually send it directly from here. You can make any changes in here before you send it without actually having to open up Gmail yourself. If you wanted to though, you can click on edit in Gmail, but really the beauty of this is just how seamlessly it now blends in to Gemini without you needing to jump over to Gmail to compose it or to use AI inside of Gmail to do it. It's a much more seamless experience now. You can also now access Nano Banana directly inside of the Gemini chat that's in Chrome. So you can use this to generate images, but more importantly, you can also use it to edit images. So in the past, let's say you were browsing Zillow and you were looking at this picture and you wanted to see what this room looked like without any furniture in it. Well, in the past, you would have to download this image and then upload it to Gemini, but you don't have to do that anymore. Over here, I'm just going to ask Gemini to edit this image to show me what the room would look like with no furniture in it. And there is the finished product. So it took a screenshot of the entire page. So all the stuff on the side is there, but it did get the job done. One trick with this though, you have to use the word edit. If you don't use the word edit, I found that it will tell you that it can edit the image. Like here, I just said, show me what the room looks like with no furniture in it. It says I cannot edit the image. I pushed it and said, sure you can, and then it eventually did it. But if you just use the word edit, it does seem to work all the time. But without a doubt, the most exciting feature is auto browse. This is basically like an agent that can take control of your browser and actually navigate the web for you and do different things like fill in forms, even go shopping for you. Now, the first time that you use this, you'll get a pop-up saying you have to give it permission. And then there are a lot of guardrails. So along the way, as it's executing certain tasks, it'll ask for your permission to proceed. So here I'm going to ask it to go to Etsy and find for me a nice purple handmade mug that's under $50, add it to my cart, and then use the address in this spreadsheet to actually ship it to there. So here you can see the task was started. It now opened up Etsy. So I'll click right here where it says switch tabs so I can see exactly what it's doing. At any time I can take over the task, but I'm just gonna let it run. So type that in. It's now looking at different options. It's turned on the filters automatically. Here it's probably gonna adjust the price over here on the left is my guess. Yep, there it goes. Now it's adding it to the cart for me. Going to checkout, and hopefully it notices that the address is wrong. So it's now going to update it. It looks like it is. All right, so it's now entering a new address. Let's see if it grabs the right information. Now, if at any point it gets stuck, you'll see a notification on the top right here that says check your task. And down in the actual chat, it'll tell you what the problem is. It says, I'm at the enter an address step. The phone number is required. Please provide one for the shipping address. So I'm going to stop the experiment here. It worked very well. But just like with any of these, it's a little bit slow. It's definitely a lot faster to do it yourself. I obviously edited a lot of this to cut out the parts where it's just kind of working and not doing anything. But the whole point of this is that you can create a task and hopefully walk away and then come back to something that is complete. It's not 100% there yet because, again, a lot of these guardrails pop up. It's going to ask for permission to do things. So it's possible you walk away and come back an hour later and it didn't actually do that much because it's at a step where it needs your permission. But it is a good, first step towards actually having something that has a lot more control and being able to execute tasks for you natively inside Chrome. Let's try another example. Here, I'm going to ask Gemini to write a YouTube script for me about a video that talks about all the latest updates to Google Chrome. So I gave it access to this page right here that has all the information on it, as well as this Google Doc where I actually outlined exactly how I like my scripts written. There's a precise formula that I told it to use. So we'll see if it's actually able to use this as a guide. You can see right here, I gave it access to both of them, and hopefully it will also create this in a new Google Doc. All right, so it seems to have gathered all the information, and now the auto browse is now working. So let's go ahead and look at what it's doing. So it created a new document here. You can see it even gave it the right title, or good title, YouTube script, new Google Chrome updates. And now we can see it's actually getting to work. It pasted in part of it. There's some more of it. And I already know it's working and following the script guide because inside that guide, I specifically told it that I want to include 3 different options for the intro, which we were able to see there. Let me go ahead and pause this for a second. We don't need to have it do the whole thing, but you see right here, it added 3 different options for the intro. So it did properly understand the entire script guidelines. I went ahead and paused it, but I wanted to resume. So I'll just click on resume and it'll pick up where it left off. And one final example, because this one really impressed me as well. I'm here inside my YouTube studio where I can see all the comments on all my videos. And I'm going to have Gemini actually draft the comment reply for me for this comment. In order to do that, you have to click on reply, actually type it in. And I've had AI try to do this before. And just to be clear, I answer all comments myself, but I have tested it out to see how well it works. And having AI answer comments for me has always been a total failure in the past, mainly because these AIs don't have access to the video. So it doesn't have the context of what the video is about. But Gemini now does. It is actually seeing that, hey, this person's asking for a link, the link I talk about in the video. And it's actually able to go into the video to understand what link this person is talking about, go through my description as well to be able to pull out that link. And now it's drafting a reply to this comment that actually includes the exact links that were in the description of my video that for some reason this person wasn't able to see. So went ahead and typed it out. This is absolutely perfect. I can just go ahead and say, sure, go ahead and post it. Or again, I can just take over and actually post it myself. And then there's one final very small feature that's sort of a big deal inside the new Gemini for Chrome that I actually haven't seen anyone else talk about. And I don't even see it in the official release information for this update. But if you come inside the new Gemini panel, and on the bottom right here, this is where you can choose which model you want to use. Normally you can choose between Fast, Thinking, and Pro, but now there's also Auto, and that will automatically adapt to your needs. So if it's just like a simple question, it will go to Fast. If it's a more complex topic, it'll go to Thinking. And if it's like a coding issue or advanced mathematics, it will automatically switch to Pro. The point is, you don't need to know the difference between all 3 of these because with Auto on, it will automatically select the best choice. Why this is a little bit of a big deal is because when you come directly into Gemini, there's no option for Auto. I haven't seen it before. It's not here now. And I think for casual users who don't know the difference between these three models, Auto is going to be the best option for them. So I do think that this should come to Gemini natively. It is great that it's in the side panel here on Chrome. Now, a big question you might be wondering is this better than what already exists? Something like Comet Browser or ChatGPT Atlas? Well, maybe. Comet's been out for a while now, and I personally think it's really good. However, I'm really liking the new Gemini for Chrome. In particular, this new functionality of having Nano Banana built in is pretty awesome. And what's going to be extremely helpful is having Gmail built in on the side as well. I can see that saving me a ton of time. And more importantly, this new Gemini is built into the browser that you probably already use. And I think that alone is really going to help it win this game. But of course, it's not perfect yet. I think there are still a few kinks to work out, and there are some things that I would love to see. For instance, as far as I can tell, there's no way to use this Gemini with your gems. At the very least, I would love for a way to populate prompts in here, maybe with like a slash command, but gems would be ideal and would really take this to the next level. But what do you think? Have you tested out the new Gemini for Chrome, and what are your thoughts on it? Or are you sticking with one of the alternatives like Comet or ChatGPT Atlas? Or are you just like, no, I'm not touching any of these AI browsers at all. I'm just going to stick with the regular ones with no AI built in. Let me know in the comment section down below. Otherwise, if you've enjoyed this video, do me a quick favor, just give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, especially because I release videos like this all the time, talking about the latest AI news and the updates that you should really care about. So if you want to make sure you don't miss out on any of those, make sure to subscribe, and then I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.